It's Friday, August 22nd, 2014, and I'm Jim Sullivan with your NeoWeather.com video forecast, taking a look at the radar, satellite, and temperatures. As of 11:15 in the morning, temperatures have risen into the mid to upper 70s for the most part, a little cooler in Ashtabula and Youngstown. We're mainly dry right now. There was a little bit of rain east of Cleveland earlier this morning. Nothing really on radar nearby, although it is mostly cloudy and more showers and storms are probably going to fire up. There was a lot of very heavy rain to our west and southwest last night. Some areas have seen 4 to 10 inches of rain over the last 24 hours, which is causing some flooding in that area. Taking a look across the entire country now, there isn't a ton going on. A lot of the action stretches from the southwest across the Central Plains, east into parts of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. Around this dome of warm air, there's a lot of storms. That's called a ring of fire type pattern. And that is bringing storms to pretty much the same areas that have been seeing it over the last few days, and that'll actually continue through the weekend. We have another little disturbance here in the northern Rockies where it's a little bit cooler than it is in the south. Elsewhere, it is pretty quiet. All right, coming back to Cleveland, looking at the numbers. Yesterday we did 81 and 66, which was a little bit warmer than normal for once. Records for today are 94, 45. A little bit of rain at Hopkins yesterday. We're running well above normal on the monthly and yearly precipitation in Cleveland. Sunset is now 8:16 p.m. Looking at the forecast for the rest of today now, we're expecting temperatures to rise into the lower 80s. Once again, it'll still be humid, and some scattered showers and storms are probably going to develop this afternoon too, once again. Tonight, I think storm chances will end in the evening with lows getting into the mid to upper 60s. Alright, looking through the rest of today on one of our forecast computer models, this big mass of rain and storms to the west and southwest stays to the south and probably weakens a little bit. However, a few scattered showers and storms are probably going to develop farther northeast across parts of north central and northeastern Ohio this afternoon. So again, there is that chance. It's still going to be pretty warm and humid, and a cold front will be approaching. Now, as we head towards evening, note how we start drying out in our lakeshore counties, which is good news for the Indians game or really anyone else who has outdoor plans this evening. That is, as that cold front slips through, we should start drying out from north to south this evening. All right, now taking a look ahead a little farther on one of our longer range forecast computer models. As we head through the night, we continue to gradually dry out. You can see some drier air trying to wedge in from the north and northeast. That is, as high pressure actually builds in. And as we head into the day on Saturday, it looks like that high pressure will actually be in control. We can't completely rule out an isolated shower or storm developing Saturday afternoon, but in general, that high pressure system is going to keep the front off to the southwest. Here's the front from Chicago to Columbus and to West Virginia with that little line of showers and storms. And it'll probably keep things from really getting out of control here in northern Ohio. So it looks like a mainly dry weekend, actually, with that high pressure system building in. All right, taking a look ahead now on one of our big picture forecast charts, this large dome of high pressure and warm air across the central U.S. is not really going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to sort of be on the edge of it this weekend, so we won't be too hot, although we're definitely not going to be below average either. As we head into early next week, that ridge of high pressure is expected to build east, and we're expected to gradually warm up. We could see temperatures at some point hit 90 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, give or take. And you can see this going on off the East Coast. This is a potential tropical storm that we'll be tracking next week. Really, and it's probably going to miss to the east off the East Coast, but anyone from the Gulf of Mexico to the East Coast or anyone who has travel plans there might want to keep a watchful eye just in case. Either way, this high pressure and warmth is going to be around for most of next week, which is something we really haven't seen much this summer. It's generally been a cool summer with very brief warm-ups, but this one looks like it's going to be prolonged. Now, as we head towards the middle and the end of next week, we might see some cooler air try and dive down into the middle of the country. So we may cool off eventually by next weekend, although in general it's going to be a pretty warm next week coming up. So here's what that all looks like on your 7-day forecast now, drying out and staying pretty warm through the weekend and into early next week. Now, at some point, Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to bring storm chances back into the forecast. That cooler air that we just showed you diving into the central part of the country, that's eventually going to push a cold front our way, which will eventually stir up some showers and storms, and that threat will persist into the end of next week. In general, though, not a bad week coming up. Highs generally in the mid to upper 80s, lows in the mid to upper 60s. All right, I'm Jim Sullivan. Thanks for watching. Check us out again tomorrow.